Let's imagine you're just walking down a super busy street. Cars are honking, people are rushing around, and then everything just stops. I don't mean slows down, I mean completely, 100% stops. Right now, time is flowing everywhere, right? Every heartbeat, every crashing wave, every vibrating atom. Every single second, the entire universe is moving forward together in this perfect sync. But imagine something absolutely impossible happens. Time freezes. For everyone, except you. Now, at first, this is going to feel like the ultimate superpower, but as we're going to see within just a few hours, you'll realize it's actually the worst nightmare imaginable. Think about it. A bird freezes midair, perfectly suspended. Raindrops are just hanging in the sky like scattered pieces of glass. People instantly turn into living statues mid-stride, mid-sentence, and there is only one person still moving. You. So, what would you actually do if time froze for everyone but you? Because look, what seems like ultimate freedom on the surface is actually a one-way ticket to a totally terrifying reality. Let's really break this explainer down. Part 1. When the world stops. The ultimate superpower. Okay, so those first few minutes, they would feel absolutely incredible. You're walking through these totally empty, silent streets. You look up at giant commercial airplanes just frozen securely in the sky. You can literally reach out and touch raindrops hanging motionless in the air. The entire world has essentially become your own personal museum. You laugh, you take selfies with frozen strangers, you can walk straight into locked buildings because, well, doors don't mean anything anymore. For the very first time in your life, you are completely and utterly free. Or at least so you think. Part 2. A grid stripped bare. The terrifying reality. Because then the real weight of the situation starts to set in. You try talking to a frozen person, no response. You shake them, nothing. See, their bodies aren't moving because their time has stopped. But it's not just their physical bodies. It's their minds, their thoughts, their consciousness. You are the only spark of awareness left in a frozen universe. So yeah, in those first few minutes, you have complete freedom. But as hours pass, it shifts into this total, eerie silence. You could walk into a bank vault or the Pentagon. You could take anything, right? Become the richest person alive? But you quickly realize wealth means absolutely nothing now. As days pass, that fun heist fantasy completely dissolves into this deep, suffocating loneliness. And then you notice something even stranger. You instinctively pull out your phone, just hoping for some kind of connection. But there's zero signal. The internet is totally dead. Why? Well, because the satellites orbiting Earth are frozen. The data centers powering the web are frozen. The entire global network we rely on every single second has completely ceased to exist. And the basic physics here dictate exactly why everything fails instantly. Think about it. Electricity requires moving electrons to flow through circuits. If time stops, those electrons stop moving. Bam! The power grid is instantly dead. You aren't just alone in a crowd. You are isolated on a fundamental subatomic level. You are completely cut off from the entire grid of human civilization. Part 3. The solitary confinement. Facing biological reality. Eventually, biological reality hits. Hunger arrives. Now, luckily, food hasn't disappeared, but fresh food won't cook itself. Restaurants are frozen mid-service. Factories have completely stopped producing. Literally nothing in the world changes. Only you do. For the rest of humanity, zero time has passed. But for you, time is passing normally. Weeks turn into months. Your hair grows long. Your beard grows out. Your body actually ages, while the entire rest of the planet is permanently paused on a single frame. Then something deeply, deeply disturbing happens. Psychologists constantly warn us that complete social isolation doesn't just make you sad, it physically breaks the human brain. Without interaction, your brain just begins creating its own reality. Severe hallucinations kick in. You literally start forgetting what a normal human conversation sounds like. You begin talking to the frozen statues just to hear a voice. You talk to cars, you talk to dogs, you talk to yourself, completely losing your sense of time and eventually forgetting who you even are. Ultimately, in this thought experiment, starvation isn't actually your biggest threat. I mean, you can scavenge for canned goods and non-perishables. The real threat, your absolute greatest enemy, is the complete, suffocating silence of absolute isolation. You come to the horrifying realization that you might just be the last conscious human in existence, trapped in this endless silent void. Part 4. When time finally restarts, a decade later. Okay, so imagine 10 grueling years of this solitary confinement have passed. You have lived an entire decade completely alone. And then, suddenly, without any warning at all, time snaps back into motion. The world violently bursts back to life. That bird you saw frozen in the sky 10 years ago, it just beats its wings and simply finishes its flight. The sound would be a shocking sensory overload to a brain that hasn't seen movement in a decade. Those silent raindrops that were hanging like glass instantly obey gravity again and just shatter loudly on the pavement. The massive roar of the city returns in a single deafening instant. Cars instantly resume their honking. People continue walking and talking exactly where they left off. I mean, literally finishing the syllables of sentences they started a decade ago from your perspective. They act as if absolutely nothing happened. The disconnect here is massive and terrifying. To the rest of the world, not even a fraction of a second has passed. But you have lived an entire decade. You walked through every locked vault on Earth. You've read every hidden government file. You know deep secrets that literally no one else knows. And physically, you are a full decade older, while your friends and family haven't aged a single day. Which brings up a very practical question. Would anyone actually believe your story? Imagine trying to explain to your unaged family why you suddenly look 10 years older and why you know the contents of top-secret government facilities. Society wouldn't celebrate you. They would almost certainly lock you in a psychiatric ward, assuming you've just completely lost your mind. Part 5. The science in the lesson. Back to reality. So, could this terrifying, isolating scenario ever actually happen in our universe? Well, you can breathe a big sigh of relief because according to modern physics, the answer is a firm no. Time isn't just some light switch that you can flip for one person while leaving the rest of the universe paused. Now sure, Einstein did prove that time can slow down under extreme gravity or at incredible speeds, but completely freezing time for 8 billion people while letting one person casually walk around, yeah, that remains strictly science fiction. Yet this thought experiment teaches us something incredibly profound about our own reality. A world where only you can move isn't freedom. It's actually the loneliest prison you could ever imagine. It turns out, the most valuable thing in life isn't money, it's not power, it's not fame. It's people. It's shared experiences. Every second of your life, billions of people around you are living their own complex stories. Time is only precious because we get to experience it together. So I really want you to think about this as we wrap up this explainer. If time froze tonight and only you could move, what would be the very first thing you do? And hey, I challenge you, don't just say rob a bank. Think a little deeper than that. Your true answer might actually reveal a lot more about what you're missing in your real life right now than you realize. Tell me your honest answer down in the comments. And if you want your mind bent by more impossible questions just like this one, make sure to subscribe. Because sometimes exploring the impossible tells us the absolute most about our own reality.